All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Uh, we are going to do a reaction to a scap attack video. This one's called "Examining the Ongoing Lie of LeBron's Elite Defense." We've given LeBron a little break for a couple days, so it's time we do this. But anyways, shoot Scap some love as always. Link to the original video will be down below. Um, and shoot me a like and subscribe if you like the content. Let's freaking do this.
Well, the LeBron propaganda machine has been working overtime as of late, likely as some thinly veiled tactic to distract us all of the very credible-looking ongoing reports pertaining to the stories connecting James to performance enhancers.
Oh
Quick,
yeah.
everyone, don't look at those reports over there. Instead, look
Real quick, it just shows how the mainstream media is protecting him because they haven't brought it up once, not once. And if this was any other player in the league with all of the allegations, especially on the Kevin Garnett, Chris Paul podcast, a guy like KG calling him out for it and saying he's on Lebowco, like yeah, ESPN and all the major sports networks would be all over this topic because it's like a big conspiracy. That's clickbait. Like that's good media. But it's LeBron James, so they won't even bring it up. They won't acknowledge it exists, and instead they're going to try to distract us with some other crap.
over here at this, we done with the 90s trending bit of nonsense. But one thing this latest trend has fanned the flame of even more so in recent days and weeks is the ongoing, seemingly never-ending debate between LeBron James and Michael Jordan. And one such thing that has been highlighted as of late is the glaring absence of a Defensive Player of the Year award on
That's worse than DeAndre Ayton defense.
the Kings' resume. Of course, as we know, Jordan won both the Defensive Player of the Year and League MVP in the same season, in which he also led the league in scoring. Yeah, LeBron never did that. But according to his rabid jock-sniffing attack dogs throughout both the mass media and various social media platforms, James totally deserved the award in the 2012-2013 season. A year many claim James was at his very best and was cheated out of the Defensive Player of the Year award.
Okay, definitely wasn't Defensive Player of the Year, but I was actually hanging out with the boys a couple nights ago. And we were talking about it. We're talking about what was the version of LeBron, and I said this: it was the Miami Heat LeBron, and simply for the reason that he was forced to actually play some defense. Like he didn't play great defense, not Defensive Player of the Year. Like don't be crazy, that's insane. But he actually did play some defense. Like it was reasonably solid, but it didn't last long. And now we see what he's doing with the Lakers. He doesn't even like get down to court half the time.
Costing him the perfect season. Yeah, this is a claim that many have just accepted to be canon, but taking a closer look into this season really begs the question of how this vote was even close in the first place. Of course, it was Memphis's Marc Gasol who ultimately won the award in what was a fairly tight vote, as he received only 212 of a possible 1,089 points, including just 30 first-place votes from a panel of 121 sports writers and broadcasters. LeBron finished second with 149 points and 18 first-place votes. And in case you were wondering why that might have been, there is really only one viable answer. The pathetic push to pack LeBron's resume with undeserving accolades was already well underway by the 2012-2013 season, as LeBron had practically no case whatsoever for that award that year.
No kidding. I know. Other than the fact that they just wanted to give him one so it would, you know, make it look like he had a like career, or I'm sorry, a Jordan-like year where he just dominated both ends of the floor. But it was not the truth.
He was, after all, on the Miami Heat super team juggernaut. So while they did have the top record in the league, posting a 66-win campaign, The only remaining question is, so what? That's exactly what they were supposed to do. Memphis, on the other hand, had a 56-26 record with about as limited of an offensive roster as you can possibly imagine. The Grizzlies' leading scorer that season was Rudy Gay, who averaged only 17 points per game, but he only appeared in 42 total games on the season, making their qualified leading scorer that year Zach Randolph, who averaged just 15.5 points per game.
Wow.
What?
Yes, you heard that correctly. A team won only 2 games fewer on the season than the Parker, Ginobili, Duncan, and Kawhi Leonard Spurs, with Zach Randolph leading the team in scoring at 15 points per game. And you might be wondering just how exactly they did that. Well, their defense, of course.
Yeah.
The Grizzlies led the NBA in points allowed that season at only 88.7 per night. Can you wrap your heads around this premise?
Wow, I didn't know that stat. Damn, that Memphis D was no joke. 88.7 is what they were giving up that season. Damn.
Kids, a team holding other NBA teams in the 80s per game for an entire 82-game season. Hell, that's basically a halftime score these days.
Right?
Anyway, it was Marc Gasol who anchored that defense. Memphis had a plus 7.5 score differential with Gasol on the court versus a minus 3.9 when he was on the bench. In addition to that, Gasol ranked very highly in the advanced metrics on the defensive end, as he finished 5th in net defensive rating, 2nd in defensive win shares, and led the league in defensive box plus minus. And LeBron, you might be wondering? Yeah, well, he finished 8th in defensive win shares, 5th in defensive box plus minus, and 49th in defense.
Yet the vote was close. Good proof, Scap. Good job, man. That's some bullshit.
Defensive rating. Yet we are routinely inundated with the lie that LeBron got cheated this season. And piggybacking on that one is the age-old tale that LeBron was an elite defender throughout the course of his entire NBA career, and that he could defend all positions 1 through 5. While LeBron was a high-level defender for a portion of his career, it was during a limited segment. As the same jock-sniffing media obsessed with padding LeBron's resume as much as they possibly can, you know, the same group that tried their damnedest to give him this Defensive Player of the Year award, yeah, they were the same ones that vote on all NBA defensive teams every season. And
wow,
you
nice
know,
closeout.
if they were only able to get LeBron 5 first-team selections and 1 second-team selection in 21 years, his defense was wildly overrated.
Wait, what was that? 51 teams. I'm sorry. 5 first teams, 1 second team in 21 years. Wow. Yeah, that's actually not good. But I'm actually surprised he didn't get more of those when he was young, between the his first stint with Cleveland and his stint with Miami. Yeah, I just saw a clip of his second stint in Cleveland on his video where he was doing the same thing he's doing now, which on a fast break he just stands there and watches the action on the opposite end of the court. So I guess it's not a new thing.
Defense was wildly overrated for the vast majority of his career. Oh, and all 6 of his selections came in a consecutive 6-year span. He was named to the first team for 5 straight seasons beginning in 2008-2009 and running through 2012-2013. With the very season he was robbed of that Defensive Player of the Year award being his final on the first team. He was then named to 1 second team the next season in 2014, and then never again after that. As the remainder of his career over the last decade now and counting has been spent with him resting and loafing around the court on the defensive end so he can continue.
It's embarrassing. Anybody but LeBron should get benched for this.
Defensive end,
What
so
was
he
that?
can continually stat pad his all-important hollow box scores on the other end. And yet, his ignorant stan base continues to eat it all up, including the fact LeBron was 3 votes away from winning Defensive Player of the Year award that season.
I know, I swear. Nowadays, you see a clip of LeBron blocking the shit out of somebody, and everyone says, "Oh man, he's an awesome defender. Did you see that block?" Like that's what it means to be a great defender, is to get one block. It's stupid. If you actually watch him play defense throughout an entire game, you'll see. You'll see who this man really is. Like he does not put any effort into that end of the floor. And now it's weird. He's only selectively putting effort into the offensive end of the floor, but I never see him put any effort into the defensive end. So how are they supposed to win any rings like this when their leader doesn't play defense, but he expects everybody else to play defense? Like the leader's supposed to lead. So if he's not playing defense, everyone's going to fall in line and be like, fuck it, I'm not doing it either, man.
Where, despite the narrow margin of differential for Gasol, it wasn't that close. But gee, I wonder where this idea came
Creepy
from.
eyes.
And he was 3 votes away from winning Defensive Player of the Year.
No, not just the media. This narrative got
Another consolation prize. Why do we celebrate all of LeBron's almost? He almost won those championships, but he didn't. He lost 6. He almost won Defensive Player of the Year, but he didn't. Marcus Gasol did. What is this consolation prize participation trophy bullshit?
percolating in the first place from the source itself, the undisputed king of narcissism.
Like, y'all know that, like, Michael Jordan, basically his entire career was either MVP or, runner-up for MVP. We don't celebrate runner-ups, because if that was the case, he would have had, like 12? You know what I mean? We would be like, oh, yeah, well, he was either 1 or 2 every time, so he's got to be the greatest basketball player of all time, blah, 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 blah. But we don't talk about his almost wins. We only talk about his actual wins. But why is it okay? We celebrate all of LeBron's almost wins, his participation trophies. Oh, in that midseason tournament this year, I feel like that was his participation trophy for the year. Let's give him one. Let's give him a trophy because he's LeBron James. And we love Lebowko. Lebowko is such a cool guy. Let's give him one because there's no way he can win an actual championship. So let's give him a banner and a medal and a trophy. So Lebowko feels like a good boy. Good job, LeBron.
And self-aggrandizing. Yeah, he was very disappointed about the voting. The following is an excerpt from an article by Ben Golliver from April 25th of 2013. Quote, Thunder center Kendrick Perkins publicly championed teammate Serge Ibaka, who finished 3rd. Spurs guard Manu Ginobili stood up for teammate Tim Duncan, who finished 6th. And now, one of the league's most influential voices has spoken up on behalf of himself, of course.
Ooh.
And LeBron went on to be quoted in this article saying, as it pertained to the voting, quote, it sucks, it sucks, it sucks. And we saw as recently as 3 years ago,
What a
the
baby.
self-proclaimed king and GOAT, who has been giving himself undeserving titles for years, was still harboring some ill will towards Gasol.
Mark has my Defensive Player of the Year trophy at his house.
So
Oh, dude, how disrespectful is that? What? I never heard this clip.
some ill will towards Gasol.
Mark has my Defensive Player of the Year trophy at his house.
So
Man, I would like Lebowko a lot more if he just didn't talk. I swear.
just be sure to put all of the fairy tales of this perceived elite defense that LeBron has played throughout his career in the proper context, like all of the other wildly overrated and embellished accomplishments in the Kings' treasure trove, which, as has always been the case, will remain light on the hardware that really matters.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching the video. The channel is Scap Attack, and here's the video title and link to video in the description down below. Um, what should we talk about today? It's pretty simple. Do you believe LeBron James is a solid defender? And if you do, please put some reasoning down below. Let's discuss it. And also, do you believe that LeBron James should have won Defensive Player of the Year award over Marc Gasol? And please tell me why if you do. All right, everybody. Subscribe to my channel if you like the content. I got more videos coming out pretty much every day here nowadays. Um, I appreciate um, I appreciate everybody watching. I'm having a great time still, and I'm going to continue to cover. Um, yeah, shoot me a like, subscribe, and comment down below what you think about LeBron's defense, and I'll see you tomorrow on the next video. Bye, everybody.